How to make the BEERgarita. This is about a 2-quart pitcher of ice, as you can see. I estimated it at 2 quarts. You're going to need to make this, first and foremost, tequila. This is Legato. I get this at Total Wine. In fact, everything here can be had at Total Wine. It's not expensive, and it's really, really, really good tequila. I like it. That's ingredient number 1, so we're going to pour that in here. Takes a little bit. Okay, as you can see, this pitcher is ridged, and for this BEERgarita, I get it up to about that point there. So your mileage may vary. You can experiment with it. Then we need lime juice. I'm too lazy to squeeze limes, and this stuff is cheap, cheaper than limes. About half of this in there. That's it. And then we have agave nectar. This is Tres Agaves. This is also available at Total Wine. It's very good. I actually use this in my coffee now too, because it has a lower glycemic index than sugars and things like that. And this is more traditional to actually make margaritas. In the bars, they often use triple sec and sugar and all these things. So you want to put about yay much in there. Don't go overboard. This is super sweet. You can always add more. Like my mother taught me, you can always add more, but you can't take it out. Then we need, excuse me, nothing like being prepared. 2 bottles of beer. I use Sierra Nevada Pale Ale. I like this in here. I have made it with Corona. I think it's a little too light. You can do whatever you want here with beer. You can experiment with any kind of beer you want, but make sure it's cold, because if it isn't cold, it'll foam up. Oh yeah, and you need a church key. Okay, so pour that in there. It's still gonna foam a little bit. There you go. And yes, we do recycle these. Pour this one in slowly. Gotta give it a second to rest till I get something to stir it with. I go big and fancy here. I use a butter knife. Stir. Almost. You need to stir this around good and let it sit for maybe a minute. Let some of that ice melt down. Barely get this in here. So this foam will go down in a minute or two. If you use warm beer, it's going to foam like mad. So remember, the beer has to be cold. That there. Now, when you drink this, you can use the traditional salt on the glass or whatever you want to do. I try to keep my sodium down, and I use this low salt on a lot of my food and my cooking. And what I do is I sprinkle this on top of my BEERgarita, and it adds the salt, but you get a lot less sodium. This is available at Whole Foods. Now we taste. Whoops. So do this. And now it's just after 5 o'clock. Perfect. These are delicious and they're addictive. I've drunk more tequila in the last year since I moved here than I did in my entire life. All these ingredients are really good. This Legato, again, tequila is excellent. It's best bang for the buck to me. I mean, you could go and use Patron or something like that, but it's kind of like using, I just blanked on the name of the real expensive vodka. It's making a screwdriver with that. This stuff is very, very nice. So there you have it. That's the BEERgarita. I hope you will enjoy them. And remember, everything's available at Total Wine and More. Bye.